first of all, as I say, maybe not the most bullish things in the world, and I know there are a lot of passionate people on StockTwits who love the company. I don't short. I don't bet against companies. I'm not rooting for your company to go down. I'm just extremely blunt and very data driven, and this is kind of what I saw. If you disagree, do your thing. No hard feelings at all. So with that said, so DraftKings is a national sportsbook company. They're in, I think, around 25 states. They are now in 25 more states with the DraftKings prediction product. They own a company called Jackpocket, which is online lottery, and then they own DraftKings, and then they bought Golden Nugget, which I think they still operate both brands. I'm pretty sure. I'm not really. Fortunately, I don't know much about the online casino space. I feel like that's always dicey if people are on their phone at 10 p.m. just playing blackjack, and it's like, man, come on. But yeah. So DraftKings, what did I see? I've been very. I have defended this company for a while. Fortunately for DraftKings, we get really good state level data from New York. Some monthly for some states, but weekly for New York. And why I was defending it is because that state level data did not jive with the narrative that prediction markets were taking their market share. They were accelerating volume. And I'm going to be talking about volume very intentionally because revenue is such a noisy metric for them. Their revenue is collected based on their take rate as a percentage of volume, and that take rate violently fluctuates based on stupid things like, did the Carolina Panthers beat the Broncos last weekend, or how many favorites won, or how many overs hit, or how many unders hit. So they had a fantastic revenue quarter because luck was better than expected. That's not a reason to get excited. Just like 2 quarters ago when they had a terrible quarter because luck was horrible, historically bad. That was not a reason to get upset. It's not important. It's very noisy. What is important is volume, because that shows you traffic, that shows you customer engagement, that shows you how much betting is happening on your platform. And that volume growth fell off a cliff over the last 6 weeks. It turned negative towards the end of January. It has looked bad through February. And they said just as much on the call, 4% volume growth through the month of January. And they were celebrating that like it was some amazing thing. They've never reported, they've reported 1 quarter under 10% volume growth year over year in their public history, and nothing really close to it aside. Or yeah, they've been around there, but a sharp slowing from 10% very starkly. And they explained it in 2 ways, which I read this and I was like, as soon as I read this, I went to old transcripts to pull up the quote that I knew existed. But he said, or Jason Robbins said something like, this is the quote, friendly sportsbook outcomes in November, December, lowering customer balances weighed on volume. And here's a quote from him 2 quarters before he said this. We have a little bit of evidence that handle can go up or down based on whether customers are winning or not, but it's actually not really a big number, if at all. So you're wrong. Like you told us that's not relevant for your business, and now you're blaming it on that. And what is the other excuse you used? You said, yeah, kind of maybe prediction markets are beginning to take a little bit of share. Maybe that's starting to happen. No, that is what's happening. They can say it's not happening, but when you look at the state level data, when you look at the terrible revenue guide that they brought out, which I understand that they told everyone it's super conservative and they're going to beat it. They said the exact same thing to you last year, and they didn't come remotely close to beating it. They lowered it the entire year.